Good morning, y'all. Happy 2020. I'm sorry that my video is a little shaky. I'm holding it by hand until I can get my tripod. Um, but I'm starting to go ahead and make videos once again. So this morning, it is currently like 6:40, 7 o'clock in the morning. So I am going to start my menudo so it could be ready by 3. And I'm going to show you the ingredients that I need. So, of course, I have my 8-quart pot. It's cast iron. You don't have to have one, but just as long as you have a big pot. Of course, you have your menudo. It's usually frozen when you go ahead and you buy it, and it's in cubes. But you have to go ahead and wash this. So I'll tell you about that here in a minute. You're going to need salt. 2 of these small little chiles, which are chili. They're called chili pods or árbol. You get it at a Mexican grocery store or an American grocery store, I'm sure. You're gonna need oregano. I usually put like 1 bay leaf. You're gonna need as much of the hominy as you like. I'm more of a meat person myself, so I bought 3 cans of the hominy, but it's, what is this? It's a 30 ounce. So it's about a pound. So I bought the pound, 3 of the 1 pound cans. And I prefer the bushes. If you can't find it, you could use any of the hominy. You could use any of the hominy. You're gonna need half an onion, 2 little cloves of garlic, and I used 3 of the chili pods. In my earlier videos, I showed you how to go ahead and make red enchiladas. These are the same chili pods, but of course you have to make sure that everything is washed before you put it in there. So what you want to do is fill that in with cold water up to about right there. So like 3/4 of the way of the 8-quart pot. And then just prep your menudo. So whenever you are washing it, you want to wash it with coarse salt. This is about 4 pounds that I purchased. When you put it, you don't want to wash it in hot water because hot water cooks. So whenever you're washing meat, before you put it onto the pan or to whatever it is that you're doing, you want to make sure that you never wash it on hot because it's technically cooking the meat. So you want to go ahead and either wash it in lukewarm or cold water. And the best way to go ahead and make sure that it gets like an exfoliating bath is to go ahead and do it with salt. So when you're washing the menudo, this is 4 pounds. Try to do a little bit at a time with some salt. So that way you could go ahead and get in there and the salt goes ahead and breaks everything down. And then rinse it off. And then you do that about twice because menudo does have a smell. So if you do not wash it, it's going to smell. So the best way to go ahead and do that is just to make sure that it's washed. So I'm going to step off camera and, oh, you guys see my little Star Wars crock pot that I got for Christmas? It's cool. I'm going to step off camera to go ahead and wash the menudo and then I'll be back. So at the beginning of the video, you saw how the menudo was in a cube, and that's because it's frozen. So I do want to go ahead and have a disclaimer. Whenever you're washing anything, please do not wash it with soap. Use something to go ahead and help you with it, either salt, because you're going to end up rinsing it off anyways. And it actually helps with like removing, similar to like how sugar removes dead skin off of somebody if you're going ahead and doing a face mask. The salt does the exact same thing with the meat. So you guys might not find it depending on where you are, but this is how it comes out. It was a block at first, and now after being washed, they become strips, which you want to go ahead and cut into smaller pieces to put into your pot. Now I've already filled up the pot. Like I told you, I filled it up about 3/4 of the way. My oregano's in there, my bay leaves, everything that I had told you earlier is already in there, ready to get the meat in there, and then we could go ahead and start boiling. So I'll be back when we get to that point. So I've already cut the tripe, as you can see. It kind of looks a little gross. Into pieces that are not bite-sized, but they're like, what is that, quarter or something? I don't know. I'm bad with measurements, but I cut it small because every time you want to go ahead and put it in your mouth, you don't want to have a big piece of meat stuck in your mouth or, attacking it or whatever, so you just want to go ahead and have small pieces. Yeah. So what you want to go ahead and do is you want to go ahead and put that on high and let it boil. So as soon as it comes up to a boil, bring it down to like a 2, which is like a medium low. And then you're going to go ahead and cover it, but not all the way, because if you cover it all the way, it'll start, sometimes it'll spill over. So you don't want that. That's the reason that whenever I told you to go ahead and fill it 3/4 of the way, when we filled up the meat, it filled up the water a little more, because that's usually what things do whenever you put them in water. You know, they expand. So in there, I forgot to go ahead and mention that I did put 2 tablespoons of salt. 2 tablespoons of salt. And like everybody mentions whenever they're going ahead and cooking, you can always add, but you can never subtract. So 2 tablespoons for 8 quarts of water is usually pretty good. Because you also have to remember that the red sauce is going to have, excuse me, I have hiccups, is going to have salt as well whenever you make it. So if you want to know how to make the red sauce, I believe it's first or second video when I made the red enchiladas. You should be able to go ahead and see there how to make the red sauce. It's just chili pods, garlic, salt, a little bit of onion powder if you don't have onions. You don't want it too overpowering though. And then the exact same situation that I did with the enchiladas, you know, you put it through a colander, sift it through to make sure you get all this pulp and the seeds out, and then whatever sauce is left is what goes into the menudo. But that won't go in until 2 hours before it's done. So this is going to go on to like about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It is currently 7 o'clock in the morning now. So just keep on coming over here to the stove and mix it. So like every stew or soup that anybody makes, slow and steady, and it's a lot of patience. So don't try to rush this. And you can make a smaller batch. So if it's just for you by yourself, you could technically go ahead and do a 6-quart pot, and then just buy less than 4 pounds of meat, and then just like 1 can of the hominy, the 1 pound hominy, and then just go ahead and do it that way just for yourself. If it's individual, the 6-quart will probably be like what, 4 bowls. So I'll be back when it's closer to me doing the other stuff. Okay, bye. Okay guys, so for the last part of the video, I'm gonna serve myself and then taste the menudo. So it's already done. It's about 4:38 in the afternoon. I had people come over, but apparently they don't want to eat menudo. I don't know. It's weird. I do want to go ahead and let you all know that I did add half a tablespoon of salt because it was lacking a little bit of salt. But then this is how I prepare it. So you add a little lime. You add some cebolla, or onion in this case, and a pinch of oregano. Some people add jalapenos, so if you want to add jalapenos because it's not spicy enough, you're more than welcome to. And then we'll have the taste test. It's hot. It's really, really good. I did myself. But anyways, before I take another bite, I'm going to go ahead and upload this video. If you guys have any comments, questions, or concerns, go ahead and put them in the link below. Have a good one.